let you know what that means. The champagne's been popped. The wine is flowing. So you know where we're going. We are going on a backlot tour. And I am your tour guide, Captain Zach. And as with me always is the Beans.
Or Jana.
Beans.
It seems really quiet in here. Okay, now there it is. All right, stop.
It is quieter.
Right? What is that?
The winds of change. We're here to talk about nostalgia. This is a detour.
We are going on a detour.
All right, we had a lengthy conversation right before we went to bed last night. And I was like, I will talk about this all you want.
You know, I'm going to preface this and say lengthy conversation, but I was asleep for most of it.
What?
Well,
How
not asleep, but I was
you?
like...
What the fuck? I poured my heart into that.
I remember bits and
I gave
pieces.
an impassioned speech worthy of Jeff Winger. And how dare you not listen to me?
I was listening.
No, you just admitted you weren't.
I was
You're
half
like, I'm
asleep.
going to tell you this lengthy conversation.
I
was asleep.
responded to things.
I actually, now I'm thinking about it, I don't think you responded that much at all. I kept going like, what do you think? And you're like,
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely fell asleep. So is this even worth doing? I thought it was a good idea at the time. Now I don't know.
No, it is a good idea.
What's a good idea?
Your episode.
I don't know. It just popped in my head and it was kind of like, man, that sucks.
Your voice is just so soothing to me. It just lulls me right to sleep.
Flattery will get you everywhere. Anyways, we talked about basically stores that had closed.
Well, you asked me.
I said, if you can bring back any store that's closed, what would you bring back? And you instantly said like the Disney store.
Yeah, I was cognizant for that one.
Yeah, well, I hope that you'd answered like, you're like, yeah, the Disney store. But I was just thinking about other stores that had just like been long gone because we were talking about Circuit City for some reason. Oh, it was Black Friday.
Yeah.
We were talking about Black Fridays, and like I said, like, yeah, we had this weird one at Circuit City back in the day. But we didn't really do it other than that time. And it was freezing and pointless, but it was still fun at the time. But
and we used to take our niece midnight shopping.
Yeah. And it's not really a thing anymore because Black Friday starts like a month early and it's just online. And a lot of the deals are just like constantly there. So it's like, it's not like a doorbuster anymore.
But it got us to thinking, what stores do we wish we could physically go to?
By the way, this is a detour. I know I mentioned it, but this is a major detour.
Yeah, it's a huge detour.
I was just talking about nostalgia of like going actually shopping, or not even shopping, just going to a store.
Malls are like a dying thing right now.
Well, the last time I went to the mall, it was like the most depressing thing on earth.
It was.
Because it was, most of the stores were closed, and then the other ones were
it's like they're becoming
turned into like mini golf.
Yeah, they're like becoming indoor playgrounds, at least the ones in our area where they're like these empty spaces. They're just,
if you're not like an Apple
laser
store
tag now,
or a Victoria's Secret or like an eatery or a Starbucks, it's like you're not going to be.
Well, the mall next to us, the Starbucks left.
Did it not just move?
No, it's gone.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. It was just a coffee shop. It just became something else.
That wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But we were talking about just stores in general that had left. And I was like, if I could bring back any store, number one on the list would be Media Play.
For me, it's always going to be the Disney store.
Oh, I know. Do you have any others besides the Disney store, though?
Yes, I said that I really liked going to Suncoast. And
wait, you didn't say this last night because you didn't respond when I said Suncoast because Suncoast is like a mini Media Play.
No. I said Suncoast, and you said that's just a mini Media Play. And I was like, well, Suncoast was all I had ever been to. I never went to a Media Play.
Where's the Suncoast you went to?
I don't know. It was somewhere in Atlanta. It was like
the
when we
only
would
one
go.
was in like Gwinnett Mall.
Well, I don't know.
Where
Like
they filmed Stranger Things season 3.
when we would come up for back to school and Christmas shopping.
You would
for
go
the
to
weekend.
Gwinnett Mall?
I don't know where we went.
That's the only place I can think of that had a Suncoast in like the greater Atlanta area.
You're talking about something like over 20 years ago.
And I don't understand why you don't remember. How do you not have this burned into your brain?
I'll ask my mom.
Okay.
But
I loved Suncoast.
I think it might have been Mall of Georgia.
Yeah, I guess they might have had one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, that I also back home we also had Sam Goody and On Cue.
I don't know what On Cue is. Sam Goody, Sam Goody is this. I think it's the same company that owned Media Play, and I think they owned Suncoast, and then they owned one more record store that was like the same thing.
Sam Goody is where I would go buy my X-Men comics when I was a kid.
I don't remember. I don't think we had Sam Goodies around here, so I wouldn't have known that they had comics. But
And
the comics would have been in like Oxford for us. Like we had Oxford Comics, and that was very good.
and there was Circuit City, not Circuit City.
Circuit City is where I got all
On
my.
Cue, which On Cue is just like another like Sam Goody Media Play kind of place.
Okay. I just miss those stores in general, but I mean, we're weird because we like physical media still, but that's such a dying thing. And well, I asked you also if Blockbusters came back all of a sudden.
No, they would not be successful.
You don't think they'd be successful?
I do not.
The idea, like, because going there on like a Friday night with your family or friends, getting a movie or a game and like a thing of popcorn and some candy,
I mean, okay,
hoping that your
so
movie's there.
Here's the thing
On tape.
about trying to bring something like that back. One, you have to leave the house to go to it.
It's too convenient to rent a movie on.
It is too
or buy
convenient.
it.
And so like you're going in, you're like renting this movie, and then you got to come back a few days later to drop it off or get all these fines,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh man, the fines were out of control.
They were so out of control. And God, if you didn't rewind the VHS.
I used to work at the Hollywood Video. That was like my first job, and it was nightmarish. We were in like it was right during the period where DVDs were starting to take off a little bit, but there's only like a handful of people that would rent them. It was still mainly tapes, and you'd still have to rewind them all the time because no one would do it.
I remember like when we were kids, like teenagers, we didn't have Blockbuster. I'm not sure I even knew what Blockbuster was until I moved away from South Georgia.
We had other
but
things. It wasn't always Blockbuster around us either.
Ours in our town was called Movie Gallery.
We had Versatile.
And it was like right down the
Turtles.
road from my mom's house. And we would go there and we'd get like
Rose Video?
it was like the movies that they weren't new releases, and it was like $1 for 5 days, you know, and then like maybe we would splurge and get like a new released $5 movie that you have to return in 24 or 48 hours.
You'd be like, get it back to us in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But especially those $5 ones, because we would have to spend our own money on it. My parents wouldn't allow that. Not allow that. They didn't really rent movies for us, you know. So we'd have to spend our own allowance on it. We would watch whatever we rented.
You watch it over and
over and over and over until
have
like
to.
10 minutes before we had to get it back to
Oh, I don't
the
know. I don't think we're
movie
that
place.
crazy. But we found out
I mean, we
were
do this over the summer usually.
of the renters at Versatile, we were the number 2 in the whole area. It's a terrible thing that younger generations don't get to experience that, where they hang out with their friends, go rent a movie from a store, and then come back to their house, play the game or rent the movie, like, and watch the movie
Yeah.
over and over in their room
I remember
and have a sleepover like that. Because that was my childhood.
shortly after my parents got divorced, they had joint custody, and like they would alternate weekends who would get us. And on my dad's weekends, he would take us to the video store, and we'd get to pick out a movie, and you know, bring home, watch it the whole weekend. And I would always pick out every single time. I know it drove my sisters insane. Every time it was either Sleeping Beauty or She-Ra.
When you say She-Ra, do you mean like it's like a season, or is it just like a?
I think it might have been like a few episodes or something, because there wasn't like a
that's
She-Ra
what they did
movie.
That's what they did back in the day. It was like we had like Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
tapes like that, where it was just like 4 rando episodes.
Yeah. That's what I would always get. Sleeping Beauty and She-Ra, and Ariel's always been my favorite princess. So I think maybe The Little Mermaid just wasn't out on VHS at the time.
You guys never taped from like Wide World of Disney on like ABC?
We didn't get that.
On ABC?
I don't know.
We would tape that stuff like religiously.
My
Didn't
dad
matter
would
what it
tape
was.
stuff, but I don't.
And half the
remember
fun of
what.
those was just seeing the commercials after the fact because they were insane. 80s commercials were bananas.
They were.
Well, my sister would always rent Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Cutting Edge. Like those are the two that like she would go to.
I don't know Cutting Edge.
Oh, it's like an ice skating movie where this hockey player like gets injured and he has to become an ice skater, like a figure skater, and like
That sounds familiar now that you're explaining it.
yeah, she loved that movie, and we had to watch. I'm not sure why she got to pick all the time. Now that I'm thinking
So
about
she
it,
was the youngest and the only girl.
I guess. Now I'm like, I don't remember renting movies over and over like that.
Because I feel like I got to pick way more than my sisters did, and I'm the youngest.
I don't think me and my brother ever like chose like things the same thing over and over. I don't think that was a thing for us. But she would like fixate like because you couldn't buy these movies because a tape back then it was like first off impossible to find. It was like $100 sometimes.
Oh, I don't remember it being that
Oh
expensive.
no. Oh, that's what it was for if the rental place like if you lost the tape, it was $100 to replace it.
Which is so stupid.
I think it's a licensing thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a just you buy it and replace
Right.
it. But like, yeah, we lost the Quentin Tarantino movie 4 Rooms. I'm not sure why I even rented that because we were like 10 probably or 14.
Your parents let you watch really questionable things for your ages.
Oh, definitely. I turned out fine. Whoa, what's that face? We were watching. I remember.
I think Courtney turned out fine. I don't think.
Whoa, like gauntlets thrown. What is this shit? We're fine. We didn't see anything like crazy. We did go to the premiere of Terminator 2 when we were 10.
I mean, Terminator 2 isn't that bad.
It's pretty tame.
Yeah.
It's not even that violent, actually. Like, especially by today's standards. So we're fine. We're fine. Anyways, I feel bad for younger generations not getting to experience these things. And we were talking about Pizza Hut.
Oh, yeah. That is
Going
one
to
thing that I
actual
said that
Pizza
I'd bring it back
Hut.
to is like a dine-in Pizza Hut.
Yeah, we used to go.
Because that's where you'd get to play the arcade games.
Yeah, we
you
had
know?
the Simpsons game there, and it changed to the X-Men game, and then Ninja Turtles. Probably before that,
I
actually.
think ours also had like a
It always had a
Mortal Kombat.
4-player. It always had a 4-player game.
Ours had like 2 arcade consoles, and you know the games would pretty much rotate.
Yeah, but we go after you get your bucket.
Yeah,
You get your personal pan pizza, and you just have like your Friday night, and then we get TCBY afterwards because it was right next door.
We didn't have a TCBY.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, you've seen where I grew up.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even had a Pizza Hut.
Sometimes we'd go and get Pizza Hut after church, and it'd be so special.
Pizza Hut is for winners.
Yeah, dine-in Pizza Hut. I have some really good memories.
I don't
dining
think
in
they
a
have
Pizza
dine-in
Hut.
Pizza Huts anymore, though. Do
You know,
they? Well, I just don't think I've seen one in the last few years. I know
So
there's
if
pizza,
there is one, do you want to eat
There's lots
there?
of pizza places. No, you can't eat anything there, I don't think.
They can make a gluten-free crust.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's been a really long time since I had it, since we don't have a Pizza Hut local to us now.
Yeah, we really don't. But, I mean, there's pizza restaurants you can eat at that are just, they're not like delivery places usually, I guess.
Well, back home, since we're in such a rural area, they didn't do delivery or Pizza Hut. You'd always have to just go either dine in or carry out.
Well, you can't really eat in a Domino's. You can't eat in a Papa John's. You can't eat in a Pizza Hut anymore. And those are like the 3 big ones for deliveries, I guess. And Little Caesars, but like,
Oh, Little Caesar's so good.
I don't think we didn't have one of those around us growing up, so we
We had
never ate
one.
there.
Shockingly, we had
we only
one.
had like a Domino's and a Pizza Hut. We never had a Papa John's. That was never a thing by us.
We had all 4.
The Big Four?
The Big 4.
The Big Four?
Not in Ashburn, but in Tifton.
Well, what the other stores that were closed, like that were gone, back to that. Media Play was always my favorite because it had books, which I didn't really care about, movies, which I constantly would be buying DVDs and tapes, toys, and it had shirts, like clothes, video games, comic books. It had everything.
You know what is a store that I have really fond memories of and that I really miss, even though there's comparable today?
Little Caesars.
No. Walden Books.
That was one of the ones that was a close. Well, there's a bunch of bookstores that just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and Borders.
There's like B. Dalton we had in
Oh,
our
I forgot about B. Dalton.
that like in every mall, you get like a B. Dalton.
Yeah.
They just don't have those anymore because like
Or,
even
like-
Barnes and Nobles are like getting few and far between. Borders.
Borders, I love Borders
I was
because
a big fan of Borders.
when I worked at Petland on my lunch breaks, a lot of times I'd walk down to the Borders
Yeah.
and just sit and read for an hour.
Nerd.
It was a nice
I'm
break.
gonna read on my lunch break.
I'd pick up like a San Pellegrino from the cafe in there.
You're so fancy.
I know. I'm
Don't
so
even have a
fancy.
jacuzzi.
But Walden Books, like, that is where we would go every year when we were Christmas shopping to get a gift for my dad.
So, I mean, bookstores are just not really a thing anymore.
Specifically, Calvin and Hobbes.
I mean, that's a solid gift.
Yeah.
The other stores that were out of like that were gone. There was Circuit City, Comp USA.
Like I said, I really liked going to Circuit City.
I don't know why. I like Circuit City fine, but like I didn't go on my way to go there.
I didn't go on my way to go there, but of
We had
like,
a Best Buy right down the street. So
but
like,
of
I
all
would rather go there.
the stores like that, like Fry's and Best Buy and
Fry's
Circuit
is the
City,
best.
I liked Circuit City the best. I hate Fry's with a passion.
Well, it's not around anymore.
Good. And
Ouch. Fry's is the only place you can get like computer components. Literally, I could buy my actual build a computer like
whenever you'd
from the
make me
ground
go
up.
there with you, it's just like, oh,
I can't. What was the store that you thought I made you? Oh,
Brand Smart.
Brandsmart. You thought I took you there like 1,000 times. And I'm like,
It felt like
we
an
went there
eternity.
4 times to buy appliances, and you're just like, you took me there every weekend. I'm like, what the fuck universe are you living in? Where I was like, let's go to Brandsmart.
felt
I
like
hate that place
every
too. And you're like,
weekend.
I don't know.
It was awful.
It is pretty awful, but you can like get pretty decent deals on appliances.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of the other ones that are kind of gone, and mainly it's just like media. It's physical media ones that I miss. Mm-hmm. So I always got my shirts from places like that.
The Sweat Seal.
I think Spencer's.
Charlotte Russe.
I always used to go to Spencer's just to get my blacklight posters, you know, and my T-shirts.
You know, I kind of just miss like the whole appeal of malls
Yeah.
in general and like actually going shopping, because it's like now and maybe it's not so much missing that as it is like I don't care about it anymore, and that makes me kind of sad. Like,
I just don't think anyone cares about it. It's too easy to go to Amazon or Etsy
is.
or anywhere to find something better and
Yeah.
cheaper.
and see reviews.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because like back in the day when you used to go to like a Best Buy or anything and buy an album, you buy the CD and you're like, well, I hope this is good. And you get home and be like, God, this album fucking sucks. There's like 2 good songs and like nothing else.
I wouldn't go by for that for like reviews for like album stuff. I'm talking about like,
Oh, I know,
okay,
but
is
I'm
this
just
a
saying,
good
like
hair dryer?
You,
You know?
yeah, well, but you go blindly into these things
Right.
anyways, regardless of what you're buying, because none of those
And,
things existed.
well, I think too.
be word of mouth, be like, this is good. You should buy this.
I get really, really bad analysis paralysis. So like sometimes being able to see all these reviews hinders me from being able to make a decision.
It's you're like, it's got 4.6 stars out of 5, but this one dude really fucking hated it.
Yeah.
You're like, man, maybe I
Like,
shouldn't
this
buy
one is
it.
4.5 stars with 5,000 reviews, and this one is 4.4 stars with 6,000 reviews.
I go by number of reviews more if it's got like 6,000 or something rather than like 300.
And you know, there are so many different brands available now online that like never existed. You know, just like all those like
Do you remember-
Asian companies that are selling under different names, but it's all the same
Yeah, like on AliExpress.
product. Yeah. And like when you go to Amazon, it's just like, okay, I'm specifically looking for, I don't know, as an example, like Neutrogena face wash, but it then shows you like, you know, 50 other brands. And it's, I don't know, for me, it's just like, well, what do I do? You know, before the internet, it's just like, I know I want this Neutrogena face wash. I'll just go into the store and grab it and not really care about anything else.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good that these reviews are there and easily accessible,
Yeah.
but it makes me just
Be honest. Do you remember like you saved up your money? You go buy a CD of the latest hit, like it has like the latest hit single, and you're like, you buy the whole CD, and you get home and listen to it. You're like, what the fuck?
I don't think I ever bought a CD for myself.
Who are you? Are you living in the Footloose town? Oh, you did grow up in the Footloose town.
I did grow up in a Footloose town, yes, but no, like I mean, CDs were expensive, and that was not a priority.
I would be seeking these things out to try to find it because, like,
right, but that was not a priority for me. So generally, the CDs I wanted, I would wait and ask for my birthday or Christmas, you know, and that's when I would usually get all of my CDs. Very rarely, if ever, did I buy a CD.
When I was listening to music back in the day, you wouldn't
I'd
know.
put the cassette tape in and record it when it came on the radio station.
Well, you didn't know if an album was going to drop ever. That
I
was
hope
never a
that
thing.
DJ doesn't talk over the song.
Oh, they always talk about the beginning and end. They always they lead into it. But like you would not know if an album was dropping because I would be like, I need to know if Tool has any more albums, and I wouldn't.
Well, they'd all come out on Tuesdays, right?
It was Tuesday. Well, you wouldn't know like beforehand if these things were coming out because I'm like, Do they have a new album? I don't know.
You have
hope
to
for the
wait and
best.
see if you see an ad on TV.
Well, I wouldn't listen to the radio that much. I would just watch Headbangers Ball and hope for the best, and be taping things off of there because I wanted these music videos. But places like Tower Records, which was a big deal also to go there, they would have all the sections that were not just rock and pop. They'd be like industrial metal, heavy metal, and all these other things that were like subgenres. And I'm like, and I would just buy stuff. It was just nice. Like, it was kind of a gamble. You just go there and be like, I'm going to buy this. And then you get home, you're like, and you learn which bands you like and you don't like. And then you don't listen to any new music after you get out of college.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I think like not going shopping physically kind of makes it hard sometimes to find the Christmas spirit. Because like that was such a huge part of our Christmas growing up, was like one weekend my mom would bring us up to Atlanta and we'd hit up like all the malls and get all of our Christmas shopping done.
Yeah.
And that's such like a fond memory for me. It's just like, it's Christmas, you know. It's like,
Well, also toy stores.
toy stores, yes.
Like, that's not a
KB
thing.
Toys.
KB Toys in the
KB
malls.
Toys was my
Toys R
favorite.
Us.
Yeah.
Toys R Us was like,
I never went to a Toys R Us until I started nannying.
oh my God, they were the best.
And
I love Toys R Us.
I only knew KB Toys
I don't know how, I understand how they
and
failed.
FAO Schwartz.
Well, that was like a New York thing mainly.
They had like small like pop-ups, I think.
Or
in
what was
malls.
it? The toy chest, Duncan's toy chest.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what that was.
Yeah.
But the FAO Schwartz is bananas in New York. It's like 5 stories or something like that.
Yeah, but doing that like in-person holiday shopping, I think it's just kind of like, all right, it's Christmas time, it's holidays, you know, and
Yeah.
like actually like being like looking through the aisles and stuff and just seeing someone just like, oh, this person would like this.
Well, I just
you
don't know why the Disney stores closed in that sense, because maybe just malls were dying and they saw the writing on the wall, but still the
Well,
toy store
so
market is just gone.
That was a JPEG decision in, 2021. So the stores had recovered from COVID for the most part. But because of the pandemic, they saw how many people were like willing to just buy online instead of going to the store. And so in that sense, it cuts down on like overhead for one, the rent and the inventory and the cast members are having to pay, plus all the benefits.
They relinquished their control of the market to Walmart and Target, and that's it.
Well, Target has like Disney stores inside them, essentially. But here's what one thing too. Pre-pandemic, and it was after I had left the store, so like 2018. So sometime between 2018 and 2020, one of the assistant managers at our local Disney store told me that the company was starting to shift from being kid-focused to adult-focused. So they were trying to change from... Like it was like in the announcements and everything, the weekly announcements that they'd get or like phone calls or stuff that, is becoming, they're planning to bring in more stuff for adults to buy than they were for kids to buy. And sure enough, over the course of that like 1 or 2 years, like I started noticing an increase of supply and variety for adults and a decrease for the kids, and that... Like, I mean, I was very excited, just like, yes, more Disney stuff for me, but at the same time, it's just like, but you guys are like a kid's dream. And like, if they stop focusing on the kids, they're not going to have anybody in 20 years.
Yeah.
They're not creating their Disney adults right now, essentially.
Well, also their merchandising, if you think about who was really excited for like episode 7 or 8 Star Wars toys.
This is a detour.
It's a detour and a detour. But like, think about the merchandise. Think about merchandise.
No. People were excited for episode 7. I was working
for
in
7
the stores
maybe, but like I think after they saw 8, they're like.
I mean, the excitement dwindled with each movie for sure.
Even though I didn't like
the
episode 1
excitement for
as
7
much
was
at the
there.
time, the fervor was so high. I bought so many episode 1 toys.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza. Oh my God.
Pizza Hut
had I had that
amazing
Yoda
stuff.
8-ball. I had like
an
floating
R2D2
Naboo fighter.
C3PO poster from Pizza Hut.
I still had that one. It's like, who's your daddy? There was a Who's Your Daddy
I
one.
desperately wanted the Amidala one that they had and never got it.
They had like 4 posters.
Like, I tried to go through so much book
Let's
it
be honest.
during that
Hold on.
time
Pizza
to try
Hut
to get things.
destroyed when it came to like merchandising with movies.
They did. And
Because
then they also
Casper,
had Taco Bell with them too.
well, the Casper Ghost, I still have those fucking puppets. When Back to the Future 2 came out, they released some sunglasses sets, and I had every one of those. The Land Before Time hand puppets, I had like
I
every
forgot
one of
about
those. Like with Spike and Ducky, I had all those.
I think we got rid of those.
I don't think I have mine. I have the Casper ones are downstairs. I
Yeah,
know
the
exactly
Casper
where
ones
those.
are downstairs.
And although, also, side note, we watched that recently. That movie is crazy.
Garbage.
I don't know if it's garbage. It's just crazy.
We should not have let our 7-year-old.
There was a lot of like, they were like throwing around bitch a lot. They
A
were like,
lot.
"You
Hard
bitch."
B.
I was like, yeah, hard B.
Yeah.
Super hard B. Anyways, but also at Pizza Hut,
It's PG.
yeah, the amount of episode 1 stuff that they dropped at Pizza Hut was insane. But I'm trying to remember other
I
merchandise.
remember the pizza boxes were coloring sheets, essentially.
The cups they would do there too. That was the
Yeah.
other thing. There's so many good things. And I feel
Pizza
bad.
Hut like ruled the world.
I feel
then.
bad for people that didn't grow up in the 80s and 90s. Fuck everything.
90s were peak.
Peak 90s.
90s were peak.
Can't beat that shit. This is so good.
I'm trying to think if there are any other stores.
There's probably a bunch of stores. I miss like
Like I said, I just miss like physical shopping, but being excited to go.
but the thing is, if
in
it were still
person.
around, you would go like once and then be like, okay, it's out of my system. And then you wouldn't go anymore.
I
You
remember
know?
when like one of our friends got married, like back in April. I had to go find a dress for that. It was well, it was depressing to walk around because like half the stores are closed there that aren't department stores.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to spend like too much time browsing because you're like at home with the kids and everything. But also too, it was nice being in these department stores, like shopping for a dress and actually being able to try on the dresses before making a decision, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But at the same time,
clothes
when I
shopping's a
got
nightmare
home,
anyways.
you know, like 2 hours later, probably, it's just like, I'm exhausted. I am spent. I've had to socialize with people at the store who are helping me, you know, and like just try on, take on, and put on all these like dresses and everything, and try and say, like, well, is this good? Is this bad? Why is the overhead lighting just so fuck terrible?
Wait, is this why we like going to Home Depot? It fills a certain void just because
Maybe.
we're shopping? Because
Maybe.
you have to go to Home Depot. You can't really order most of that stuff.
Yeah. And usually
You
at
could,
Home Depot,
some of it, but-
well, usually when you're going to Home Depot, it's like, it's stuff you need right now.
Yeah, we
You
need it
know.
immediately.
I mean, it's why I like going grocery shopping.
I mean, I guess those are the only things that you need to meet. Like Home Depots are always
Yeah.
going to be like a thing because shipping
And-
wood or drywall or anything that you actually need for materials, it's not feasible.
When I had to go to Walmart the other day to get, can't even remember what I was getting, but I took like Ronan with me. We went through one of like the Christmas aisles and they had a bunch of like, you know, like gift idea Christmas stuff out. And I just
Yeah.
kept like, oh, this and this and
Yeah.
this. And like, this would make a great like Hanukkah gift exchange gift. And it was very satisfying, you know?
To actually buy a gift in an actual store.
Yes. And to actually see just like, well, I need a gift. Let me look in the store and see what they have.
Yeah.
Although, you know, like you're saying like filling a void and everything, but we know I love gift shops.
Yeah, I know.
Like I like
I think that's partially why you like Disney so much because there's shops everywhere.
everywhere
It's the opposite. It's like your shops
with
everywhere.
merchandise I like,
Yeah.
you know. Well,
Yeah.
I use the word like loosely because
Because you're like, fuck some of this shit.
most of the
Every time we
merchandise
go to
is
the
crap.
every time we go to the Food and Wine Festival, you're
but
just
it's
like
Mickey on there, so
you're like, ugh, the Food and Wine Festival logo is terrible this year. I'm like,
Oh,
you said it every year.
they just came out with the Festival of the Arts merch.
Festival of the Farts.
You just call it farts.
Is it terrible?
It's so bad.
It's never good.
I hate it. No,
Festival of the Arts is always
it was really
kinda, like,
good in 2019.
it's kind of gone downhill regardless. Like the last few years, anyways, we've gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing. Anyways, any final thoughts? I'm rambling here. I'll keep going on is the problem. If you keep bringing things up, I'll keep going. So
Well, I'm just trying to think of if there are any stores that I'm just like,
Now you miss going to?
I miss going to, or that I've closed and I'm just like, man, that sucks.
Well, we would always, whenever we would go to a mall, like we would go to like Spencer's, we would go to,
We being you and your friends.
yeah, like Hot Topic later, just because I wanted to get shirts, and they always had like shirts that I wanted. And then
I mean,
KB because I wanted my McFarlane figures.
me and my friends, we do like Bath and Body Works. And
No, we wouldn't do that. We'd go
Wet
to Mars,
Seal and
Mars Music.
Rue 21.
We would dumpster dive in the back of Mars Music and find guitar pedals that were half broken, and we'd fix them. And a bunch of other weird cables and stuff behind there. And then we'd go to Guitar Center, and then we would go to Media Play.
Yeah.
And that was the rounds we would do.
Not really the same vein, but kind of. I miss like Delia's, the catalogs that they would always send out.
Well,
Which you probably don't get it.
Well, the catalog thing is interesting just because we've been getting more catalogs, and the kids love them.
Yeah. So now this Christmas time, we've gotten an Amazon catalog for toys, Target, Walmart, and Lakeshore Learning, which is just like an educational store near us that we shop at.
They love circling what they
And,
want. And I'm
yeah.
like, I forgot doing that when I
Like
was a
they
kid.
kept telling me like, I want this. And it's like, okay, take a marker, go through, circle what you want and put your initial next to it.
Yeah.
And so like, and like Olivia has to help Ronan, but you know, I've made like their wish list off of that.
Well, we
and
would
it's
just earmark
nice.
like the JCPenney catalog and like, because that was the
You
big
do
one.
earmark?
Well, we just put like our little dog ear on whatever
That
page.
doesn't tell your parents what you want.
We were probably getting it anyways, to be honest.
We would we do the same thing that I told the kids to do, you know, like circle it, put your initial so that you know.
I think it was just like what we liked, and I don't think it was ever going to happen.
I remember, and I don't know why this is such a strong memory for me, but I remember in the JCPenney catalog circling the white Power Rangers, his like knife blade thing.
The one with the tiger on it?
Yes.
Did I
Circling
buy you the
that.
wrong one?
No, I'm gonna love anything that's white or green.
Oh, wait,
Power
that one
Ranger.
isn't even out yet. The green was the only one that was out that
Yeah.
I got you.
And
And also, it was a Green Ranger at the time when you were all about the me. Because you're like, oh my God, he's like,
I mean,
Tommy.
I was in Power Rangers through the transition to white Power Ranger.
Yeah, but green was better.
I love them both.
His Zord was so much better.
It was.
It was as good as like the entire Zord of like when they came together. The Green Ranger Zord was still better than theirs.
Yeah. But
It was the same size.
I remember circling that, and
Tommy was overpowered.
I really, really wanted that. And I didn't get it, which I knew was a long shot because it was pretty expensive. I think it was like $45, like in the 90s, you know? So that'd probably be what, like $90 now or something. But I wanted that. And I also like circled like the white Power Ranger voice changing mask. I got that.
Wow.
That was fun.
Anyways, take us home, Beans, because we're really long on this one.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day.